The black woman is God.
I raise my flag for my sister. 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 I raise my flag.
Peace and Black Power family. I am your hostess, HAT-SHEP-SUT, and we're back for part 2 of What is a Woman? So last time we really didn't get a chance to fully dive into the definition of what is a woman, what is the original definition of what is a woman, and what it's been twisted to today. So I have my beautiful goddesses on with me. I have Goddess AMENSET, Sister JELIYA Rain, and Sister COURTNEY. So I'm going to just go around real quick and just have everybody just reintroduce themselves, and if you want to drop any social media, any, web pages, you can do that too. Okay, you can go ahead.
Peace, family. Peace, y'all. I'm Shelly AMENSET, owner, CEO of Sun Goddess Scents, as well as K&S Apparel. My social media is Sun Goddess _Scents on IG and Sun Goddess Scents Facebook like page.
Okay, Miss JELIYA.
Peace and blessings. I'm JELIYA Rain. You can find me on all social media. It's JELIYA Rain on all social media. I'm an artist, an entrepreneur as well. I do public speaking, and I'm a poet. Ashe.
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 Okay. All right. Sister COURTNEY, you good?
I am. So, hey, y'all. My name is COURTNEY. You can follow me on social media. I am COURTNEY Simpson. I'm only on Instagram, and don't be mad at me if I don't really post too much, but I be on there lurking and reading comments. I am also an entrepreneur. I am also a mother of 2 boys. So I have some young kings in the household, 16 and 6. Please don't ask me about the age gap. I'm still asking myself. And I'm just happy to be on today and be able to, have some sisterhood with you guys. I love things like this. So I appreciate you guys for being here.
All right. Thank you.
Likewise.
We appreciate you being here. Okay. So, we want to just, we want to really dive in right now. It's sad that we even have to discuss a topic like this of what is a woman. But with all the confusion today, all the brainwashing, we really have to take time out to define what womanhood is. What direction are we going in as a people? Femininity versus feminism. What's being pushed in our community. So I want to just talk, about each of those topics. And, I really want to start off with, the definition of what a woman is. So Sister AMENSET, can you please let us know, the definition of a woman, just looking it up on Google. Anybody could Google this.
Okay.
So we have a few definitions we want to just kind of dissect.
Okay. One of the definitions that I found, and there are several, and most of them that I found didn't make much sense to me in regards to what a woman truly is. But this definition says an individual of the sex which conceives and brings forth young, or in a wider sense, which has an ovary and produces ova.
Okay. All right. So let's stop there. So that is the scientific definition of what a woman is.
Correct.
Somebody who can actually give birth, who has ovaries. So there's one. I mean, I agree with that. That's the only definition there should be.
That's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate.
There, you really can't question it any way, shape, fashion, or form.
No.
Absolutely.
No. That's by any living being.
But I think that
Male.
I think that's where all the confusion comes from. It's like if you add all these different things, then it's like, well, what is? But it's not confusion. It's what it is. Like my dad used to say all the time when I was younger, like take the emotion out of it and deal with the facts. And the fact is, if you are a woman, you can conceive or you have ovaries, because not every woman can conceive.
Right.
But so you have ovaries, you have, you can produce these things, like you can create life.
You were born with that. And if something is wrong with you, they can pinpoint what is wrong with you as a woman.
That's
Right.
right.
You have the capability.
Right. That's right. Not going back and saying, oh, well, I got to tell you about this, this, and this first so that you can know where to look for this. You know, if you go on into a gynecologist's office, they're going to ask you, when was your last period? They don't care what you're there for. You could be coughing, sneezing.
Exactly.
Right.
They are definitely going to ask you that.
That's right. What was your last mystery?
It does not matter how old you are. They still ask.
Right.
Exactly.
So,
that's right.
Some people cannot answer that question.
Right.
Right. And this is a problem. Like, this has been an issue. They've been talking about this for the last year or so.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, we're talking specifically for our Black community, but this is across the spectrum. Because we're emulating just like their sickness in a sense.
Absolutely.
And they're forcing it on us to the point where it's like you don't realize you're being kind of brainwashed into it because you can't in your mind think you can go against it.
Right.
Because they make it emotional.
Right.
Yep, they do. Yeah.
And they constantly they push it. They show, they're pushing the agenda. They have the commercials. They have, the endorsements. We just, heard about, what's going on with Bud Light. So people are starting to push back. And
guess what? The transgender that's representing Bud Light is I've read that he is being approached by Tampax.
That's a hot mess
for them.
Tampax
tampons.
Nike. Also Nike. Nike is part of this.
But they do use tampons.
For what? Well, why?
For when it gets a little too rough and they have to stop up the only hole that they have.
But that has nothing to do. This is where we got to say, this is where the sickness comes in.
Right.
Well, then that other part of that psychological, if you're a girl, you should carry around things that girls or women carry around. For those who, just are picking it up, you should have every little piece.
So you're playing woman.
Sister Rain, what's going on?
He's like blowing him out.
I am trying to wrap my head around this because I remember a time when they wouldn't even talk about feminine products on TV.
Right.
You didn't even know you was bleeding unless somebody told you that was close to you. You didn't know the products and stuff, and it was shameful to go in there. And then you telling me that they're using tampons.
Already have a man of a commercial.
Transgenders are getting ready to do commercials for tampons.
There's already. I've seen one already.
Right.
But also, why are we paying for tampons? I know that's a whole nother, but I feel like
exactly.
Yeah, well, that's a whole.
That is just given.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm sorry. I just
amongst a million other things. Yeah.
But you said something really great at the beginning, Shep, when you said about womanism versus feminism.
Yeah. Femininity versus feminism.
Right. And it seems like to be an air of some type of feminine demon spirit, whatever, that's floating. You would we know, I know that the creator is a female. In my universe and in my mind, because everything has a seed, and when you bust it open, it look like our vagina, and we know we can give birth. But now we got this feminine energy that you have more feminine men than you do feminine women. You have more masculine women than you do the men. But this is messing up, because I have a 1-year-old girl, grandbaby, and a 3-year-old grandson. And if you think 30 years from now, 20 years from now, if they're erasing everything off, the only thing that, because see, we had encyclopedias when I was coming up. They were in the house, and they would come to the house to sell you encyclopedias. Find out your information. But now they have the ability to change it in the blink of an eye. In the blink of an eye.
Right. And just change the definition and see. And I'm glad you're saying that. So let's segue into the further definitions. Now, that's the definition of what, from the scientific perspective, which is the correct perspective, no other way to look at it, definition of what a woman is.
Right.
Let's go into the other definitions that you would find on Google now.
I know one of them said plural. I don't have mine up again. Oh, this one that I had found, it said, again, a woman is an adult female human. Prior to adulthood, a female human is referred to as a girl, a female child, or adolescent. The plural woman is sometimes used in certain phases, such as women right, Dakota, stuff like that. Typically, a woman inherits the X chromosome. Okay, now we're getting into the scientific fact of it, when they're manipulating our bodies and manipulating our minds. So this is real deep. Capable of pregnancy and capable of birth and capable of puberty and menopause. And
the portal. She's the portal between the spiritual and the physical realm. That is what she is. She brings life to this planet. That is what she is. That is who she is. She is God. You know what I'm saying? She is. And they want to call her everything else but what she truly is.
That's right.
You know, because everybody want to make a mockery of her and call themselves one and just say like that. I'm sick of that dude on the doggone Bud Light can. I'm sorry. I'm sick of him.
Y'all know I have never seen this.
Everywhere you can be looking at something on doggone YouTube, and all of a sudden.
But yeah, no, but definitely, like, it's like this man prancing around, and like basically it's like a mockery.
Yes.
Of what a woman is. So it's like, and it's not even a woman. It's even more sick. It's like a little girl.
Yes.
Really?
So this is trying to act like a little girl. A lot of times he try to act like a little girl, and then when he act like a woman, he'll do something like, "I've been a woman for 24 hours."
No,
I've managed to cry 7 times, and just making a mockery of a woman.
Okay.
I mean, it's really ridiculous.
It's a mockery. So
this person even has a platform. You know what I'm saying?
It's even deeper than that, because you know who is jumping on the back of the LGBTQIA plus, I think.
Elemental P.
The big P.
So I think
XYZ.
That's what it's leading into.
Pedophilia.
Yeah. Those are the people who are pedophile. So then to hear, even though I didn't see it, but to hear what you guys are saying, that seems like what they're segueing into. And those two particular groups have been at each other, because I think they have like a pastel rainbow flag. The are they calling themselves pedophile?
Yeah, pedophilia.
Are they calling themselves that? And I'm just asking because I'm not all the way up to date, so I'm not gonna act like I'm all the way current, but I do know that they have a pastel rainbow flag. And when the other community has their events, they'll try to blend in. And then it becomes this big old thing about, like, you're not supposed to be here. We're not, on your bandwagon. This is not what we're pushing. But in a sense, you're not pushing that, but you are pushing your own agenda, which is pushing them to the pedophilia.
Well, they have an organization. It's called, they already have the organization. It's called NAMBLA. It's called the North American Man Boy Love Association. This is actually...
Yeah, we were talking about that the last show, right?
Yeah.
What is it called again? Man Boy Love Association?
NAMBLA, the North American Boy Love Association. And we'll pull their thing. Well, we actually ain't even pull it up to show it.
Okay. No, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. But when you said that about the guy, that's what it sounds like to me. So you say if she's acting like a little girl, and then they're hitting our babies so young. We were younger. We knew which cousin was gonna be whatever they was gonna be, and we didn't need nobody to tell us that. And we didn't shun them. Well, I'm not gonna say everybody. I'm gonna say for me, we didn't shun them. We know what's going on.
They weren't even. This is why we say in the class they weren't even out. It wasn't even like it
wasn't a thing.
Right. It wasn't.
Yeah. That's the whole thing. It's like the whole thing about like this, you know, what they're trying to push. It's like your sexuality shouldn't even be talked about. Number one.
Right. That should be something that's private, because we always our business out. Right. It should be.
I mean, there was plenty of people, you know, on TV who was, you know, gay. And listen, we didn't even know, and even if we knew, it didn't matter because we weren't looking at, like, I was looking at the individual.
That's right.
And they weren't flaunting it. They weren't flaunting it. And
you couldn't. You couldn't.
They wasn't trying to rub it all in your face. Yeah. And you know, and just, you know, they weren't doing that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have a problem with that. But I have a problem when you are promoting it in schools.
Yeah.
You know, and you got transgender that don't even have a full surgery, transgender women, or a man that's transitioning into a woman that still has a penis, and you letting him use the same bathroom as my daughter. That I don't understand that.
Right.
You know, that is wrong. And they're competing against women in sports.
See, that's a whole nother scene. That's what we're trying to say. So like the definitions that they're pushing today, that, you know, a woman is just a female. Anybody today, they could say, they could wake up tomorrow and say, I'm a female. Just today, I'm talking about a man beats a woman in poker and track for the marathon. These are men. These are men. And it's like people shouldn't be scared to say these are men.
It's biological men with the strength of a man competing against women. Taller. I mean, they towering over her. Like just towering over her. Like he's 6'2" and she 5.
Has there been any of the women
in sports for a trophy, for a medal?
Has there been what?
Has there been? I'm so sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Has there been any women who's a transgender man that has played and competed against men yet? Have you guys heard of any yet?
When they've done it, they've gotten their arm broken. They've lost every time.
Okay.
So
I just wanted to hear the comparison.
So no, it's not like when they go over to the man side. That's why you don't see that. They're not pushing that.
And they're not pushing them going into the prisons either. Because they pushing the transgender, the men transitioning into women, they let him go into women prisons.
Right. To have now, you want to put that woman that's transitioned to a man in the man's prison, okay.
Yeah.
I guarantee in an instant you wouldn't want to go. All the men you say you are.
Yeah.
Outside of prison. If they put you in there, you would not be wanting to go. You would realize you're a female really quickly.
I think that we had this conversation maybe a day or two ago, Shep. But I wanted to ask you ladies, because, you know, y'all a little bit more seasoned than I am. Y'all know a lot more people than I do. So I would like to know, have you guys ever heard a pregnant mom, say the doctor tell her, oh, she's having a boy or a girl. Have you ever heard them say, oh, I hope that they're gay?
No.
Not ever.
Never.
Like, we hope a lot of things for our children.
Mm-hmm.
I've been pregnant 3 times. I had lots of hope. That does not say that if maybe I had a child that they turned out to be gay or whatever whatever it is, that I still would love my child.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But that's not in my forbearing
Right.
brain as I am carrying this child as mine, and I'm wishing things for it. I'm hopeful.
That's not a normal train of thought, you know? That's not a normal train of
I wanted
thought.
to ask if you guys had ever, because if it's so normal, that would be a normal train of thought.
Right. Oh, I wish my baby was bisexual.
Right.
Yeah, like I've never heard. I just wanted to know if it was just me.
No, and that's it. That's what you're saying, the natural way of being. See, but now it's, you know, I think a lot of things are attention seeking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
Good point.
It's really that. So it's like I'm pushing, you know, my agenda. You feel a certain way, so you're trying to cover stuff up. Let me put this as my new identity.
There are so many people who went through those surgeries, especially as younger individuals, that wished and hoped and prayed that they never ever made that decision.
Absolutely.
As their brains were not chemically even old enough to process what it is that they were asking. Right. So they can't reverse it. And they're stuck. So you felt like you weren't who you were in the beginning, right? Which probably more than likely you probably needed some counseling. And now you're in a body and you still don't like who you are.
Absolutely.
And when it comes to things like that, it's like I saw this pastor one time, and I like to dibble and die. Certain things make me laugh. And he was talking about how regardless of what you do with a woman or to a woman or give to her, she's always going to want something else. God gave a woman all these beautiful things, and she changes all of them. She changed her eyes, her eyebrows. She changed her body. She changed her skin. People get plastic surgery. They change their hair. Right?
Right.
And so I think that's a natural way of until you come into yourself, right? And then you love your eyes, and you love your hair, and you love your lips, and you love your this and your that. And then all of a sudden, all those issues you had are not no longer issues. Why? Because you were growing.
Right.
And I'm sure all of us, I mean, because I know I went through it. And the thing about it is, like, the way I felt about myself at 20 years old, I don't feel that way anymore. The way I felt about myself at 30 years old, I don't feel that way. I'll be 55 this year. When I was 40, I feel different than I felt when I was 40. So we are always changing our minds, always changing the way we feel about stuff, always changing, always evolving, always, you know what I'm growing.
Yep.
And how can you take the way a 12-year-old child feels about themselves and take it literally and seriously? And if they're a boy and say, oh, I feel like I'm a boy, I'm a woman in a girl's body, in a boy's body, and you let them get a sex change at 12 or 13 years old.
And that's what I'm saying.
I've ever heard in my
delusion.
life.
That's what I'm saying. It's the feeding into, it's the attention seeking. This is something that's deep. You even like sacrifice your kid for it. They'll even sacrifice their
I can't believe they got parents on the bandwagon to do stuff like this to their children. That's
chemical this is what it is. It's chemical castration. They don't tell them. They tell them they put them on. They want to put them on hormones before puberty begins. Puberty blockers. These people are sick. All these doctors and stuff. They're paid. The pharmaceutical companies. This is set up. These are experiments on these kids. They're pushing this.
Chemical castration.
Yeah, that was yeah.
Wow.
So the other side of it, though, outside of the attention seeking part, right, is remember that I think the ratio is something like 90% or 92% of people are sheep. They're followers.
Yeah,
they are not able to. And it might not even be 90%. It might be somebody correct me. I'll look, but it's a huge number, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of peer pressure. It's a lot of peer pressure.
Right. So if I don't do this, then what are they going to say? Are they going to end my house? Are they going to fire me from my job? Or are they going to XYZ? Like, those are real fears of real things that happen to people.
And that's because of what they're pushing, though.
That's right.
They're pushing. They're trying to tell you can't speak out. Now, they want to, I mean, we're talking about the Black community, but it's even for a bigger purpose. I need to weaken, if I'm going to like attack, I need to weaken these men. I need to weaken the society. I need to have them dependent. Like, they're hitting us with so many different things, from the drugs, all these pills coming in, to LGBT, I mean, the trans, all this stuff. All of this is breaking down population, breaking down society, breaking down family structure.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
The nuclear family, the original family. This is just the worst continuation, the abortions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The music that they're pushing.
Oh, the music. Let me tell y'all something.
There's no love songs, R&B, none of this.
Man, I think this is, I am this years old. I'm 34 years old. And I have to confess that I love the N-word. I will not say it on this show because I am now not saying it. Right. I love that word, okay? It's a term of endearment. I can say it in 30 different ways, and you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. It is something that is communal, or has been for me, right?
It was pushed in our generation. Like, that's what I'm saying. What was pushed?
Right. So now, when you see our brothers being sanctioned and fined for saying that, what's the one basketball player? He said, no homo. He got fined $40,000 for that. But if he would have said the N-word, nothing would have happened to him at all. Like, they wouldn't even cut to commercial or nothing.
They don't even censor it in New York. They don't even censor a lot of times, even through the songs on the radio. Yeah.
And I think, how can you give these classes, because it has happened more than once. I'm just using him as an example. I'm pretty sure if you Google it, you could find all types of, like the one brother who got threatened or whatever because he posted a book. A book. He didn't even say anything. But you could use the N-word whenever, however, whenever.
I'm saying this because, see, that's another thing. The demanding of respect, the whole agenda, what they're pushing, they gave this to them.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about, I don't want to hear about like race theory and all this, telling the white man they're bad, all this. No, like, you won't even tell them about our Black inventors.
Yeah.
You won't tell them about, our musicians. You won't tell them how we actually built this nation.
They don't even know who Marcus Garvey is.
No, you won't tell them
about nothing about Marcus Garvey in school. Nothing. Nobody knows anything about Marcus Garvey. And
that's what I'm saying. About any Black leader.
Unless, their parents are teaching it.
Yeah, mine.
They know about it. But some grown-ups don't even know who Marcus Garvey is. Some grown Black people that don't know who that man is.
Yeah. And a lot of our leaders. So it's like, this isn't pushed. So it's like, but we haven't said it as a community. We haven't demanded it. We haven't gotten together and been like, we feel disadvantaged. We feel a certain type of way. And not enough of us are saying it. I want to get into the individualism, versus the community, and just with us. But like, that's a big thing. So it's like, when you go to the LGBTQ community, they're together pushing their agenda.
Right. And they don't even like each other. Did y'all know that?
Yeah, it's like
the letter
brought it up.
They don't like each other.
Right.
But they stand together to get what they need.
Well, it's just like Europeans. It's just like white people.
Yeah.
They lobbying. They are lobbying.
You got the French, you got the Jewish. Guess what? America is always going to side with Israel.
You better say that.
So it's like, I'm not the same, but you will always gather together when you need to.
Yeah.
And that's what we don't do.
Except for us, right? Except for us.
See, and that's the problem. It's like it's like they have, shown and taught us, like, and shamed us into not loving our race first, loving our people first. Knowing that we're different from who they are. This is like the first time ever we've been like, yo, the same thing that white people do is what we're doing. I remember coming up, I was like, oh, that's white people stuff. There was a difference.
Okay, because I love me a good charcuterie board. Okay.
Yeah, no, there was a difference.
Yeah.
Between somebody white, somebody black, the way that they act, you've seen how they talk to their parents. If you ever disrespected your parents, how they spoke to their parents, you knew that's not what black people did.
Yeah.
Right.
And it wasn't even in your spirit to do it. There we was thugs in Brooklyn like that would not, you're not cursing around no elders. You're not disrespecting just the essence. It's like, it's different now.
It really is. The energy is crazy. It's like they don't even get up. They don't even get up out they seat for an elderly person to sit down. These kids.
This is
and they will cuss. They have a whole conversation, cussing through the whole conversation right in front of an elderly person.
And that's there's no respect. They don't see there's no difference. You know,
there's
no lines.
I think the basic respect is, like you said, there's none because they wasn't taught that.
Right.
And,
nobody was at home teaching them.
If you teach a child that they're not supposed to be in the space where adults are and they're talking and they're gathering, child should know their space. And I'm old school, and I truly believe, and I've seen it through the years with my children, that when you teach a child yes ma'am and no ma'am,
right,
yes sir, no sir, that ain't, I don't feel that's being slave minded or nothing like that. That's showing your line of where adult is, or where a level of respect or authority is from the beginning, because they don't know.
Right.
So, and I have a lot of friends who be like, my child don't have to say yes ma'am or no ma'am. All they have to do is say yes or no. But I'm gonna tell you something. In school, and I've seen it, my children are 18 years apart, and my youngest one now is 23. In school, just that principle of yes ma'am and no ma'am, period, will get them through the door. That's the basic foundation.
Right.
That's the basic foundation.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's crazy
how being polite and cordial. Yeah. Just being polite and cordial.
But that's what I'm saying.
Around like you mad about something, you got a chip on your shoulder all the time, and always want to just want to get smart with people and just be, just have an attitude all the time for no reason. That's the way they walk around, like they just got an attitude for no reason. Because
they've been given. Our kids have been given too much and not have to have worked
right,
or seen the struggle that we have had to go through. That's why now is such a difficult time talking to them, and the world is allowed to influence them.
That's the biggest thing. That's what I think is the biggest thing that I've seen, because it's like, I was like, we talk about this, Courtney, all the time. It's like, we're not in our 40s yet. So it's like, it's crazy to even like see this, and we're still young and we see this whole generation. It's like completely different.
Completely.
Not even similar.
Not similar at all.
And we know the only thing is the influence of this internet, this social media.
That's it.
It's other voices. It's too much.
That's it.
Yep. We need to go back to the internet being the encyclopedia and the little minor games, the little one where you got to push the little button, solitary. Yes. You can only look up definitions. You can only look up things. That was all it was an encyclopedia. We need to go back to that.
I think it just starts in your home and in your community and in your village. You be the impact of that, because we can't change the whole world at once. It takes one baby, one thought, one action at a time.
Right.
That's true.
And that's what I'm saying. That's, and that going to that, I want us to kind of all go through traits of what a woman is. We were just talking about one who's nurturing, always, making sure they look out for their family, feminine, soft, reassuring, comfort. This is like, in my mind, those are some of the things I think about when, I know when I say what a woman is. What do you think, Courtney? We'll start with you.
I think that it's living in the times that we're living in, that sounds nice. To be able to be comforting and reassuring, and to be able to be nurturing and XYZ, while as a woman, you are paying all the bills and looking after the children and talking to these teachers and going to make sure this one has that one, doctor's appointments, dealing with your own issues, your own trauma that may not have shown you how to be a person that can comfort another or how to nurture that another individual when you've never received that.
Right.
And I think that because I'm a hairstylist, I get to talk to a lot of people ranging from ages 5 to 75, both men and women, boys and girls, and they all talk to me. And when it all comes down to it, the way you are brought up, as Sister Rain said, plays a huge part in what type of individual you will be contributing to society, even your own children.
Right.
And sometimes it's not easy to self-reflect, and sometimes you don't have time to think about your child's feelings or nobody's feelings. It's not that simple when you're not given those tools. And
your environment was changed for you. That's what I'm saying. You're out of we're out of our natural state.
We are.
That's a whole nother component.
And they making it seem like it's easy to be a woman. That's what they're making it seem like.
When you're playing
a woman.
Right. Absolutely.
But you would never give it the real strength to be one.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's a lot all in itself. But I do think, remember when they used to have those classes where you could learn how to be mannerable? What is it? The
etiquette.
Yes, the etiquette class.
Etiquette classes.
Yes.
These kids don't know how to curtsy, bow, shake a hand. My children do. No. My children pull out. Look, I'm a rep for my boys. If y'all got some good queens y'all raising, let's be like they used to be back in the day. I need to see a portfolio and some more stuff. But my kids, they pull out chairs.
Sister JELIYA, now I want you to tell us what you think your definition of not what you think, what is the definition of a woman to you? Some characteristics.
Period. Just the ability to bring forth life. The ability to bring forth life. Now, when you bring forth life, those other things kick in, nurturing. Everybody don't have a nurturing spirit, like Courtney said. Everybody don't have that because they wasn't taught that.
Right.
And but just by your ability to bring forth this life, you have a new opportunity to learn how to love, learn how to be a partner, learn how to bring somebody else up by mentoring. So that's my role as a woman.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love that.
All right. Sister AMENSET, a few attributes of what, defines a woman, because we need to, like how we said, I'm glad we all went around the circle and define what, a woman is, and how it's so crazy. No man can take this place.
None. I don't care what you do.
No man can take this place. And we like I said, we are the portal, and not all women can bear children, but we are the nurturers as well. We are the nurturers. We are the caregivers. We are the teachers. You know what I'm saying? We teach the village. The sisterhood ran the village, and we raised the children together while the men went out and hunted. You know what I'm saying? While the men went out and made.
It's simple. Go do that. Out the way.
You know what I'm saying? Right. We are so multifaceted that we cannot be duplicated. You know what I'm saying? There's no duplication. There's no comparison. We are the givers of life. We are as I said before, we are the portal.
Yes.
XX chromosome. And we some powerful, powerful, powerful people.
That's why they want like us.
I don't consider myself a feminist, and I'll never will. I don't compare myself to no man. I don't want to be equal to no man because I make men. I've made 2 of them in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? So we are powerful. The female, the womb man, which means womb man means we got a womb.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my definition of a woman.
Right.
Love
Absolutely. and that's what it is. Like, you can't replace that. Like how we said, we're going through, being able to give birth, menstruation, just what we deal with, just emotionally as
yeah.
a woman. That is completely different from, what any man can feel.
Right.
Even with a sex change.
Even with
exactly. You can't.
And the hormones added.
Right.
Right. You cannot duplicate that. So this is just playing dress up. And the fact that where the sickness of being pushed like that, you have to accept it. So it's like somebody just making up, I can say, right now, I want to be a dolphin. And if y'all don't accept it, something's wrong with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Because why can't you see that I'm a dolphin?
Right. You know what I mean? So I
don't have a blowhole.
Right. But
but that's what I am.
You know,
you're supposed to go with the flow. So they want everybody to be crazy like they are. Right. They just want everybody to just,
I like the ocean, so I think I'm a dolphin. So now you have to respect me as that.
Conform to their ridiculousness.
I can't work. Right. I'm a dolphin.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
I need government assistance now. Okay.
Yeah.
I need y'all to pay for this dolphin life over here. Who gonna keep my tank clean?
Exactly.
It's gonna be somebody that's going to support that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what this is what.
But it's not really support, it's capitalized.
Exactly.
It's going to be someone that's going to capitalize.
Because they have right.
So
it's confusing. And it's just confusing our little ones. And we are the guardians of this episode in our life, where we have to make sure that those that we are within this they come this close to us within hand length. We're supposed to make a difference in their life. They're supposed to see the change in us. They're supposed to see a light within us that knows that we're different. And it's a good difference. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely.
Because otherwise, with all this foolishness going on the TVs and messing with our brain and our physical being,
But this is what I'm trying to say, when we're taking in other people's culture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is our culture.
So now we're taking it. See, like we used to know that there was a difference. This is the only time. I mean, you see Black kids disrespecting their parents just like white kids. It's no difference. And there's no repercussions.
None. Let's go get them some more.
When I used to go to jail for
police, I'm a police. And this is what they tell them to, rat your parents out, call the police, come to the state.
Yeah,
I don't know what's being created for them,
because that's really what they doing with them.
Right. But this is,
I remember back in the day, you get your mama whip your butt, you threaten like, oh, you hurt me, I'm gonna call the police. You gotta make it to the phone first.
They gonna have handing me the phone.
you gotta make it to the phone first. Both your hands gonna be broke. You ain't gonna be able to call nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But this is what's being pushed. They're being pushed. Their victimization. You're abused. Something's wrong with you. It's a good thing to expose all your ailments. Put it on TikTok. Cry on TikTok. Cry on Instagram. Everybody feel sorry for you. This is what I'm saying. Like, and they try to push and they pull from. Okay, now they said let's push this trans on all these children, and they feed it to them, and they take it in. They start questioning everything because everybody knows. What we all know from the beginning of history, young kids and teenagers, their mind isn't fully developed.
Right.
Yeah.
We won't let these people drink. We won't let them vote. We won't let them do a lot of things. Drive. But now we're saying that you can pick who you are. Right. And going forward as adults.
They don't even want you to put a sex on the birth certificate anymore.
But this is...
Okay, so now The Rock had this video up and one of his little girls, I can't remember, this was a little while ago, and she had these beautiful big curls, right? And everybody was talking about how she was picking mommy over daddy or whatever. And there was somebody in the comments, and she was like, and he kept saying, he's a beautiful little girl, you know, your daddy's girl, blah, blah, blah. And this lady was like, you can't call her a girl. She doesn't know if she's a girl yet. You can't, It's like, there was literally a lady, a white lady on the news talking to another white man, talking about how they are not allowing parents to put a sex on the child, and they're going to give the child till they're 4 years old to say if they're a girl or a boy. And the man that was listening to her literally out loud laughed in her face and was like, what are you talking about?
Right.
And she was dead serious. Like, no, they should be able to at 4. My child wanted to be damn Godzilla.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
What are we talking
That
about?
sounds accurate.
Right.
They want to be Godzilla. They want to be Spider-Man. They want to be Ant-Man. They want to be everybody.
Anything. And this is like, so you like, we no longer, they have like the powers that be above the, like, society, media, social media has actually convinced you not to parent anymore.
And to sit your child in front of you ain't got to do nothing. Let us feed them this garbage.
Exactly.
We're going to keep collecting the
And
check
I'm
because
going to
they're
distract you. And I'm going to distract you. Because, see, this is a whole nother generation, too. Now it's like the Atlanta Housewives, like everybody's still chilling. So now they're distracting you from being a parent. Not only from, like I said, from the shows. No, going to what we were saying before. The whole structure.
Yes.
The nuclear family. There was a time in the 50s, we were 80% married.
That's right. And we had more money than we had now, too.
More than the white man. So you can't sit here and try to convince me that this is our natural state of being. No. This is systematically done.
Yes. Yep.
So it's like we can't forget that. Like there is a war against us. We are in war right now.
Yeah.
This is happening on purpose. We're putting these situations on purpose.
Yeah.
The woman, the man is taken away. They take away all that responsibility. They put it on the woman on purpose. They give us the jobs on purpose.
But we outnumber them.
We do, but I'm just saying they give it anyway. I'm just saying, so the men in general, if you look, I'm saying in particular our community, it's really happening across the board. I mean, we could just talk about in general, even with white people. Okay, of women gaining and getting more positions and more jobs and having higher pay and all these other things.
That was my
saying. It's starting to be pushed.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially in the more liberal and blue states.
Did y'all know that 3.5 million women quit their jobs during COVID?
Well, yeah. And
started working for themselves. So the point of me saying that we outnumber them is, they're pushing this on us, but they're forgetting that we're the creator.
Right.
So keep giving it, and we're going to tell y'all what to do with it.
Right.
That's the only way it's going to go. And the men, they going to kill themselves, but at the end of the day, y'all are going to keep giving it to us until we keep taking it and turn it to what we need it to be, because you guys are no longer efficient anymore. We don't even trust you anymore in these positions.
But
we don't trust you.
Yeah, and this is what I'm trying to say, though. And this isn't the natural state of being.
Yes.
This isn't our natural state. I mean, Black men, I mean, from the beginning of time, we can even go to the civil rights era. They were always at the front line. Front line. The reason we're in our position we're at right now.
But we also have to let them be too. On another note.
I mean, that too, but I'm just saying we have to realize the trickery. That's what I think the biggest thing is. It's realizing the trickery of what's going on.
Okay,
of the positioning.
Yeah.
You know,
But
I mean,
the whole
I've worked
integration
in so
thing.
many places where I countless, where I can know for a fact, I'm talking about eligible Black men should have gotten the job.
Mhm.
I have been in meetings where we talked about how we're not just off the basis, like, I don't need nobody trying to be like me. This is what the white man thinks. He does not want to see no strong Black man stand next to him. Not in no corporate or environment. Absolutely not.
Sure
Absolutely not. Not gonna happen. I'll give it to the Black woman before I give it to him. That's guaranteed.
And they do. They all. I worked.
Guaranteed.
I
I was there. I was one of them.
Corporate office.
Yeah.
For 18 years.
Yeah.
Never saw a Black VP, never saw a Black president, and they made a Black woman the VP of the marketing department.
Yeah.
And then it was another Black woman that was in a higher position than that, but no Black man ever. The whole 18 years I was there, never, ever, ever.
Crazy. You know, and but these are like silent things, like, you know, not even silent, like these are things that aren't said. You know, so it's like when Black men make it, it's on that entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's on them just, you know, just being creative, doing their thing, making it happen.
Right.
It's usually not from a job. You know what I mean?
Right.
But there's some people who are meant to work and need to work, but
yeah, and that's definitely,
you know what I'm saying, to be stuck in those particular predicaments.
Right. I'm just talking about on the hiring, which should already be there. Like, that's easily given to us. You can't say that our Black
that ain't gonna never change.
Capable as us, more capable. Are you kidding? This is how it is. If it's the white man's world, that's who should be in the front line.
Right,
exactly. Be in the front line. Right. I didn't say what it is. I said what it should be.
Exactly.
Naturally. That's what I'm saying. We're all off of what our original state should be. And this is because of environment.
It's completely out of balance.
It's just like how they say in science, nature versus nurture. Like, you know what I mean? What's your environment?
What's your environment?
But the world in itself is out of balance, which goes back to the whole point of what is a woman. When we know that Mother Earth ain't having whatever is happening on her planet.
Right.
Something that she has been conceiving, her child, right?
And key word, you heard what you just said?
Conceiving.
Mother
Earth.
It ain't Father Earth, it's Mother Earth.
Yeah, absolutely.
It ain't
like we're out of whack. So is everything else
Father Nature, it's Mother Nature.
And it's because, and I really truly believe, like how you said, Courtney, like, because we're out of whack.
Well,
you know, and that's going to lead to our final, you know, part of this discussion of us being out of order, you know, individualism versus community.
Yeah. Oh my God. But you know, the one thing I can say that I've seen more of, and I'm very proud to see, and to be able to see, is more of us getting back into that entrepreneurial spirit, right? And to know how to take care of us. Now, I know this is going to sound crazy, but we know how to take care of us individually. Like, I'm going to get mine, whatever it is. We know how to take care of us. And because we know how to take care of us individually, I think that when we come together, we'll be so much stronger, because no one will feel like someone wants something from them, because we've all been taking care of ourselves. So we carry a different type of confidence, and we give a different type of help to each other. As if you want to go back to biblical, it's like, you know, you can't help anybody until you help yourself. So we've gotten very good at taking care of self.
Well, some of us, because a lot of us are completely off. You know what I mean? And see, we need to teach those traits. Like how you said, for us, see, that's the thing. That's where I go back to the community part.
Okay.
For us that made it out, for us that were able to handle certain hard situations. A lot of these young females and girls don't even know how to handle themselves in certain situations. They just winging it.
But wow.
Not from the simplest things, you know, from the, like, even interactions with boys. What do you do? What do you like to do? How far you go? Because it's not taught. That's what I'm saying. Not taught at all. you know, and it's like, and that's what I'm saying. They've divided the family, going to my individualism. So it's like, once I've divided the family, you know, now, you know, back in the day, especially, I know, you know, you guys, said, and Sister JELIYA, you know, people used to sit around the family table. I mean, like we our generation, Courtney, we remember that. You know, I'll be honest, when we were young, we in our room eating. You know what I mean? Like,
not me. I sat at the table. My mama wasn't playing no games.
We sat at the
last
table.
kids, Brooklyn.
And my mom cooked big dinners like every Sunday. Every Sunday, people from everywhere would come to my mom's house, our house, to eat. You know, because she just cooked, she cooked all kind of cakes and pies and she just made a big dinner like every Sunday. And people,
so you can tell me a little bit about that, like just in general, because that's what I'm saying. Like people don't get a chance to hear these stories.
My mother,
they don't see it. They never heard it.
And JELIYA, Sister JELIYA, do you remember this? Like, so I remember when I was little, I used to hear my mother on the phone with her girlfriends, and they were like really community women. I mean, they were for the community. The community took care of the community, you know? And my mother would be on the phone like, yeah, girl, Pete, that's my dad. Pete went fishing yesterday and I just cleaned these fish. Why don't you send your son around here? And they would share their food. My mom would give some fish away, or she'd go in her garden and pick her greens and say, hey, I'm gonna send my son around there with these greens, and they'll send some tomatoes back, or you know what I'm saying? It was like the community really took care of each other. And I don't see any of that anymore. We don't even know our neighbors anymore.
Yeah, we don't get the house parties was something big, you know, back in the days. But we don't gather anymore. You know, we don't gather to communicate. We don't gather to show positive energy. When we gather, you have males that's doing their things. They're entrepreneurs. They're gathering together to talk, to build that male testosterone. And then you have women who's doing their things. They're entrepreneurs. They're doing those things to build that testosterone. But what the kids see, is adults functioning together, talking, laughing, not fighting, not cussing,
having healthy conversations, healthy dialect. You know what I'm saying? And things that they can learn, talking about things, meaningful things, that dropping meaningful jewels that they can bring to their adulthood. Like me and you having this conversation right now, they can have the same conversation, or they can be doing the same things that they saw their parents doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Ken don't go fishing, but if I go to the grocery store and they got salmon on sale and I buy extra 3 pounds, I'm gonna call somebody and be like, hey, chef, come get it. Find us, you know, they had crab legs on sale, yada, yada, yada. I got some extra ones to come get you some. You know what I'm saying? I still do stuff like that. You know, when they had chicken, like some chicken on sale, I call people, I went and took my neighbor a bag of chicken. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we got to get back to that.
I have a garden. So every summer I'll be taking food, giving food, everything. So my biggest thing is just getting people back to growing their own food. And that during that time as well, you can communicate with your children.
Right.
You can teach them something that can give them longevity in life. That's time to listen to them. They might be talking about what's a woman, what's a man, all these other things. But it's a time off the phone. It's a time off social media. It's a time when you have control of your environment. We can't fix everything in the world, but we have control of what we have control of to a certain extent in our own environment. And it's up to you. You are purpose. It's up to you to make that difference and to make that change, because you have not one word to stand on.
Exactly. We are the change. We are definitely the change. You know? We are the change. You know, we can't, you know, sit around and be talking about what's not right and we're not willing to do something to make it better.
Do something. You know? Even being active in the community, like you and your husband, Shelly, and Shep and Rebel. Being active in the community, get more into these children. We got to tap into our babies.
Right.
We got to tap into our baby because they tapping into them.
Mhm.
They tapping into our baby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
they
right.
We
are.
tap into our babies. And this is the season now where ain't no tapping to the babies with the family because they buying them everything and not giving them experiences in life. They buying them everything and you're not giving that child an experience.
What's that saying? Instead of giving your child everything you didn't have, teach them everything you didn't know. Teach them everything you weren't taught.
Right,
Teach them
right.
teach them all of the good values that you know.
That's
You
smart.
know, and don't reward them with
Right.
a pair of Jordans, and you know they don't deserve it. They getting kicked out of school, fighting and everything, doing all kinds of stuff. But you giving them, you buying them some $200 pair of Jordans. That's just backwards. We didn't get nothing when we didn't do right.
I was glad to
My
get
mom
them.
embarrassed the mess out of me if I came home with a bad report card. My mom, somebody called the house for me. My mom would intercept that call and be like, you didn't know Shelly didn't tell you? She on a punishment until that next report
On
card.
the punishment.
Yeah, they love telling your friends. Yeah,
They would tell you.
punishment. They can't speak right now. Yeah, you can. And probably not like a week.
Look, you would know when we was on punishment when we were younger because we were sitting on the porch shelling peas or doing some type of manual labor while everybody's out in the yard playing. You have to sit and show it on the porch. Or you going to a neighbor's house to help her with something. And that's one thing in a village. The village had a whole village.
Right.
Everybody was responsible for everybody.
The village.
Everybody, like Shelly said, you can't even talk to nobody else's kids these days.
You know, tell them to get out the street if they in the way and you trying to drive by, and they in the middle of the street playing. You can't even tell nobody kids to get out the street without having to fight with their parents.
But again, that gets back to us, the women who knows. It's up to us to make the change. It's up to us to get our own village together. It's up to us to make the difference with everybody that you're connected with. You're responsible for that. Why are you going to be in a group of women who ain't talking like this?
Right.
It's associated with the group. You know what I mean? We have to start building out and like kind of bring people in. You know what I mean? We don't have to be, they want to influence us. We have to influence them.
Them.
Exactly. And it starts with what you said, JELIYA, and it starts just like what we did that day at the park.
Yeah.
Me, you, and Courtney and Nisa.
Yeah.
We need to do that more frequently. We need to go to a place where kids are. You know what I'm saying? And do something. Think of something to do for them. You know what I'm saying? And just influence them. Give them drop some gems on them. Drop some jewels on them. Something that they can take and something that they can use every day. Yeah. You know,
real women making moves. Yeah,
absolutely. And that's what we have to do. You know, we have to untrain ourselves. You know, it's going to take a lot of just gaining that trust back. We've been taught to not trust each other. And there's been so many things, like I said, this is once again, adopting other people's culture, adopting the white man's culture. You've turned yourself, now you grimy. Now I have to watch out for you. Now you're a backstabber. You know what I mean? Now all of these traits, this is not our original traits.
No, it's not.
It's why we were a village at one point.
Always
we're not, it's not like that anymore. It's really not. And now you have to, just kind of work with your inner, your direct circle.
And that circle. I was having a conversation with someone earlier about the fact that how powerful we were prior to even having the right to vote.
Right.
Black Wall Street was created and we didn't have the right to vote.
Yeah, of course. No.
You know what I'm saying?
We didn't need to be.
And they think that our voting is such a big deal when we were so much more powerful before we was even voting.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, but that voting kind of puts the pressure onto somebody else. Well, if I elect you to do it, then you should help us.
Right.
But then they get elected and they still don't do it. So.
But we know that. But I'm saying that's what started to happen. That's where it started to trickle down. It was like, no, they're supposed to help us now. So We're gonna let them do it, and they never do it.
And they don't do it. Because guess what? The hood still looked the same way it looked when Jimmy Carter was in office, when Nixon was in office, when Clinton was in office. The hood has not changed. The only thing that's changed about it is being gentrified. White people coming in and buying up everything and redoing and making it what they want it to be. Right. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I'm from New Orleans. A lot of them hoods that used to be hoods ain't there no more. And you think it look real nice over there, but it's the hood.
No, but what I'm saying is the hood, they have taken the hood.
Oh yeah.
They're putting these $1 million
gentrification
infrastructure.
They got bums laying right next to them. I'm not paying no $700,000 for no freaking house.
That's what they doing. And that homeless people, black people to move so that white people will come in and pay that.
Well, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, but that's one of the things we could definitely speak about on, another topic, is gentrification.
Right.
How it affects us. I mean, I'm from Brooklyn. They've been pushing us out. Brooklyn, certain places. I mean, Biggie's apartment that he speaks about in his songs is $4,000 a month right now on St. John's. I mean, the rent. This is what they do, and this is what they've been doing for really centuries. They push you out. Now you have to relocate. Now, like how you said, people turn into the entrepreneurs. Other people have to still maintain, get, a few different jobs, maintain that. You know what I mean? And other people fall off. And then we talk about this whole drug epidemic. I mean, these are things we're just going to talk about that's going to, that hits our community.
Yeah, let's talk about how we give away our property and give away our buildings and things that our grandfathers and grandmothers worked and great. Let's talk about that, because yes, it's gentrification, but it's a reason why it's so easy for them to be able to gentrify.
Yeah, because they know, because you don't value it.
Right.
It doesn't value to you. So at the time when they do it, it's still the hood.
Oh yeah.
So you're thinking like, well, I'll just take this and I'll go live somewhere else better. Now some people do. And other people just fall off. Now nobody has anything. And that's what happens to my heart.
Right.
Yep.
And I'm just saying, like, there is, going back to our whole family structure. This is, if we were working together as a nuclear family, if we was working together as a community, things like this would never happen.
Well, we got to remember what's going on in our community, because it's not always just the white man either.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like there's a lot of trauma in our community, which is why there's not a lot of trust. And where there should have been trust, there was none.
Right. But
it's hard for you to move forward in these moments. Like y'all talk about neighbors, not knowing the neighbors. And you can't say certain things to the kids and blah, 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 blah. My kids, they ain't going to nobody's house.
Right.
Kids not coming into my house because I got boys. I don't know what y'all got going on. Little girl, you can't come in here.
But I think you feel that way because you don't know. That's what I'm talking about. Because as a community, you don't know what influences was on that child. You don't know what they could be coming in with. What type
I know that none of those things make a. I think that anything can happen anywhere because it's proven with anybody, and I don't care if you're being brought up in the church.
Yep.
That's where it happened the most.
My point is you're making the correct decision, right? You felt like your mom or these just people, their parents made the correct decision by sending them to Sunday school every morning, Bible study on Wednesdays, this day, that day, and not knowing that their child was in there being molested or taken advantage of. And they were doing the right thing in their brains. Yeah. So when you have a child that has experienced that, then you have parents that have experienced that if they know, right? And if they decide to do anything about it or sweep it under the rug or question the child or XYZ, all these things pour into how we parent, how we trust, how we love. So I think that mental space for us is really, like I was asking you guys about the full moon. I know some of, but I don't know all, right? So I always ask questions. Not everybody asks questions. Not everybody has someone to ask. And
Really?
I just feel like it's not just so simple. Like, it's just not. Like, yeah, there's a lot of things we could be doing or should be doing, and a lot of things against us, but there's a lot of things that's against us, that's us.
Saying our culture, our morals, like that we used to have, like there were standards. There's supposed to be a certain amount of standards that you abide by. If you look at the Russians, they got their rules that they abide by. If you look at the Jewish people, they got their rules.
They have a code of conduct.
This is what we try to say.
Right, but where are we pulling that from in this country?
We don't have one.
Right, so I'm like,
where we know? And you know what? And I like, let's end it with that, Courtney, because see, I like that question. Where we know really? Where our culture? What is our culture? You know what I mean? We have to discuss
because it depends on where you're at now, okay? Because in Atlanta, it's hot wings.
We have to discuss what is our culture. Do we have what should be it? We need to, and if we don't have it, then we need to make one.
Make one.
And that's what I'm saying. One. Like what you was just saying when you went down the line of the different nationalities. They have a code of conduct.
That's it.
They do.
So we got to
have a code of conduct, and they have things where they only support their own. They don't go outside of their community for nothing. They got everything they need right there in their community, and it's all owned by them. Like if I walk into a Japanese,
Chinese people, the Mexicans,
you know or say I walk into the beauty class up the street that's owned by somebody Chinese or Korean. They not gonna buy my shea butter because they know I'm taking food out of their brother's mouth who sells shea butter.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So they're not gonna buy nothing from me. That's that code of conduct where they support their own and they don't support nobody else because they know they taking food out of their own people's mouth when they do.
But they understand that. That's what I'm saying, our understanding of certain things. So we're going to definitely go back. Like, what is our culture? What should it be? And if we don't have it,
the code of conduct.
Then we need to start making it.
We need to make a code of conduct.
Collectively.
Really do.
I don't care what.
Community code of conduct.
What it is.
Yeah, that's going to be one of those conversations where we're going to have to disagree until we agree.
Yeah, right. And but that's how you get to but that's how you get to the laws.
Yeah.
That's how you get to the constitutions. That's how you get to the bills and all this other stuff by going back and forth. You have to. And that's
I hear you guys I always hear older women and men say how they don't run into any like respectable kids and they don't care about XYZ. And I just don't have those particular encounters.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I couldn't say that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't say, probably because I look their age, probably. but even the little babies, they talk like grown adults.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Hey, how are you? Some of them ask too many questions, and you'll be like, "How'd you know that word?" Right. Like
that has to be nurtured, and that has to be pushed in the right direction. Otherwise, it's just it won't mean anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, am I pushing, I see how smart he is. Like, am I pushing him towards art? Am I pushing him towards music? Am I pushing them towards science?
You can't push these kids towards nothing anymore. You got to let them figure it out.
But you got to at least expose them to it.
Expose them, allow them to have experiences.
Just excellent built,
Yeah, I think,
and we came back strong. I think we all define what it is and, how we have to talk about it more.
Yeah, good conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I just want to, right now, I just want to close it out, and, Courtney, you can start off, just, give any of your details about, where people can find you again and, Sister JELIYA, you too.
Okay.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at I am Courtney Simpson with 2 N's at the end. And that's all I have where we are.
Yeah. And I'm JELIYA Rain. And you can find me on all social media, Jeliya Rain, JELIYAREIGN, Jeliya Rain on all social media.
Okay. And you can find us at rebelvision.com. I want to thank Rebel Vision Television for having Real Sisters Code on their channel. Thank you, Rebel. And, you know, like I said, go to rebelvisiontelevision.com. Goddess AMENSET had to leave real quick. So, you know, please make sure that you check out Goddess AMENSET on Instagram. She has the shea butter. She has all your natural products that you need. You know, she has the Seymour, she has the jewelry, she has the clothes, all that. So please go check her out. Go to her Instagram page, go visit her store, and just, you know, stop by.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right.
Yeah, so definitely, ladies, thank you so much for being on. You know, we could just build on forever. I mean, we could just go on for hours.
Literally.
So, and then this is what we need to talk about. And this is what people have to see. Because it does get this deep. We have to keep on breaking it down. It's a discussion that has to keep being, you know, had.
Absolutely.
So we find and establish our real sister code. Because it's right now there is none. It's all over the place.
It's all over the place.
And we have that's the reason
self
why.
Is the sister code.
Right. Exactly.
That's where we are right now.
Break down why. I mean, going into every aspect, how you said, from our food to the way that we look ourselves, our health, you know, our community, our economics, our environment. You know, so all those things, you know, play into it, and our influences.
Yes.
Are things we would have never seen if it was just us.
Yeah.
And how it affects us.
Yeah.
When there was no internet, you know, we didn't know about our celebrities. No TMZ.
Right.
You didn't know what they look like unless you had a poster.
Okay.
You know, they have money, but did you see their houses? Did you see their cars? Did you see? It was none of that. So now being exposed to different things now puts your mind frame in a different arena. You start looking at things different.
Yes.
And it may not be the correct way.
Definitely not in a real way.
There's Iraqi girls getting killed because they want to walk around like American girls.
They better know the code.
In the street, yeah, okay. This is what I'm saying. If you would never seen that back then, then you would have been fine. You know, they wouldn't have been an issue. So I'm just saying we have to talk about our influences, and I think that's a big thing that impacts us, and it's how we act.
Yes.
You know, definitely. Well, once again, thank you, goddesses, you know, for coming on. Okay, now next week we're gonna be back. You know, look out for us on, you know, Instagram, Rebel Vision Television. We're gonna have the Real Sisters Code soon on Instagram, so check out that and go to rebelvision.com.
All right.
The Black Power family, us.
Us.
The black woman
I raise
is
my
God.
flag for my sister. I raise my 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 flag.